administration needs to be replaced. So that becomes something that has to be on the agenda. But before we even get to that, when you say we're pulling the trigger, we don't have to answer the structure of what it's going to look like for them. They can wait. This is not a, okay, we'll tell you what. No.
We don't have to tell them anything.
There's multiple options on the table now. We're pulling the trigger and we're going into session to discuss what looks best. And bring the people in here who could really advise us as far as what it needs to look like. Whether it's what you said, whether it's, I don't know.
I think there's many ways to pull the trigger. We can just pull it and, I mean.
And we all need to be in the room discussing, now when we come out of the room, what does it look like? What are we implementing? And let them wait to hear, just like you wait on the grand jury.
Right. Just like you waiting on the bill to come out of committee to see what it finally looks like.
Yeah, you're not asking, okay, no, you already told me we're taking over, so let's just take over.
So what would be your position if they come out and say, well, this bill died?
Then we pull the trigger anyway on Cashmere. We already said that.
Well, what would be the way that you go about it?
That the bill dies?
How would you go about it? What would be your demeanor?
What do you mean? What would be my demeanor?
I'm not being facetious.
You mean a response to the bill dying?
No. He's saying Cashmere is failing school for 5 years.
Yes.
Right.
And therefore, whereas Yates is only a failing school for 2 years. If the bill dies, then we have to wait 3 more years for Yates, but pulling the trigger at Cashmere is on the table right now. And to answer Jerry's question, is you follow whatever the law is right now to pull the trigger. It says, here's how you go about doing it.
Well, we know we understand that part. I think the question that was being posed, it was several things kind of going on at once. So if the bill dies, was the question. If the bill dies, what we do is we still proceed with pulling the trigger.
So who do you hold accountable for your bill dying?
Who do we hold accountable?
The people that voted.
That would be it all depends on whether or not it dies in the Senate or if it dies in the House.
What you need to do is what your people told me to do. Keep your mask on right now, boy. Keep your gangster hat on. I said, well, I want to kick back right now. I need to go the intelligent route. We don't want you to do that.
What do you mean by here?
Hey, Jace just said intelligence tells you when to act a fool. Okay? It tells you when to act a fool.
A damn fool in case the bill dies.
If the bill dies,
So what does that
the
look
bill
like?
dies.
Right.
I just think that at the end of the day, we too spread out now.
I don't see you guys spread out at all. I think everybody around this table is on exactly the same page.
Nope, no, we're not. That's just it.
Demeanor has nothing to do with it. It has to
That's
do
why
with taking control
it's
of the
good.
school.
Y'all got the plan. Let me know what we need to do.
You said you would not quit this thing. You were
I'm
in
not.
this thing forever.
I'm not
So where
gonna
are you
quit.
going?
I need a new leader.
Well, she's here. Okay, but sit down and.
No, you're the
have a
leader. You
conversation.
I lead by example.
I'm leaving town for 2 months on Tuesday.
And the day I lead this fight, we lose all them black schools.
Say what?
The day I lead this fight, we lose all them black schools. So my thing is, I ain't got time to play with these people.
Yeah, right.
I ain't got time to be sitting around bartering with them. None of this. The list is done.
What do you mean the list?
Of schools. Is that what you're talking about?
How many schools had an emergency meeting the other day?
All of them.
All of them getting
All of them
reconstituted.
had a meeting. That means that we gotta act. We can't just sit around and do nothing.
What does the law say? What does pulling the trigger literally mean?
It means that the parents have the right to either charterize the school, reconstitute the school, reprogram the school.
Jerry, you're going to smoke a cigarette and then you're going to come back? What are you doing? Okay.
He just got off the road too, so he has a little road fatigue too. Tired, physically tired and mentally tired.
What I'm not gonna do,
Yeah.
we sitting around wasting time. We instead of trying to figure. The damn problem is right here. We don't need no help. Everybody wanna be our friend now.
Who wants to be your friend? Specifically,
I don't
name
want.
one.
Nobody in our business. That's the first thing. I'm urban. I don't even go to a Jack Yates alumni meeting no more. Because our business cannot be all over the place. And the way that we feel about certain things, it needs to stay in-house. It has to stay in-house right now. If not, we lose all these schools.
Saying he doesn't want you going and talking to anybody. Is what he's
I
saying.
want nobody in
I'm
here
the
talking to
interpreter, but
nobody.
I appreciate you.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, thank you very much.
But see,
We've already had this conversation.
That's the thing.
I just-
Because I'm gonna tell you something, and I'm gonna do it on purpose next time. I'm coming in my suit, my $2,000 suit. I'm gonna pull out the $5,000 fucking briefcase, and I'm gonna use all the words that you black people can't seem to understand that I fucking know. The passion is here. We don't have time to play the game. We got 5 different things going on at the same time. You got the schools being reconstituted. You got a bill that's up in the air. You got 2 different versions of it. We have to attack all this stuff at one time. But what we doing is we wasting time talking about this. Man, fuck that shit, that ain't finna help us.
But you have to get organized in order to really
And that's why I say
attack that.
we've been doing great. And I failed my team.
No, you haven't.
And I don't want to lead them no more.
You haven't failed a team, even though not leading them no more might be a good thing. But
It's
you
a
haven't.
great thing.
But you haven't in any way failed a team. Don't even start tripping like that. When the Marines get through doing their thing, they step back and the Army takes over. That's not failure. The only way the Army takes over is when the Marines
I
win.
say-
Only when the Marines win do the Army come in.
We need a new leader.
Yeah.
And I want a leader
You haven't failed.
that's going to do this shit 24/7.
That's what you need.
You ahead of this game because when you take a day off, I don't take one off. When you take a day off to go do whatever, I didn't take a day off. Whoever gonna lead this squad gonna have to be 24/7.
And what has to happen, you also have to be self-funding. You really do. Because you can't do this with no money.
Well,
You can't. And there's a way to get the money. Money is not our problem. It's not.
Money ain't even an issue.
Well,
We
it is
didn't even get to that.
Yeah, but you
But
gotta address
if you're
it.
making demands on people that are under your leadership, that you want somebody to step up at that capacity, that's why he was talking about being self-funded. That means either the group is funding or you, Ted, you're funding yourself and you're donating all your time. No more Robert's Rules of Order seminars for you.
It's not sustainable.
No more leisure
It's
learning.
not sustainable.
Right.
But what's happening
because
here-
we all have lights, we all have gas, I try to fast, but still I hadn't really made a large dent in my eating bill. You can see I'm still eating. So what I'm saying is we all still either we're gonna pitch in and have someone that can do this 24/7, or
No,
the
I don't buy the
individual
24/7.
would have to take it upon themselves to say, I'm just giving my all and my
No,
lights
because
out.
that
I'm
doesn't
giving
work.
my all.
You have to
Yes.
get organized. That's what you have to do. And what he just said made
I
good
think
sense.
what you need to do is like my wife say, you don't believe Christ died till you saw the blood. You just got your new fucking president. Let's see what happens. Have a good day.
That's okay.
And everybody can walk around. I don't want to be the only one to say something, but I want to say something. And that is that if Kashmir is the school right now that is ripe for pulling the trigger, that what seems to me what needs to happen is to go there with sufficient flyers and hand them out to the kids as they're either coming to or leaving school.
Let me let you guys in on a secret. What you're saying is correct. I asked Gary before we went to Austin. I let him know that the Kashmir principal was having her state of the schools on Thursday. Thursday after we came back from spring break. Okay, so somebody was supposed to generate a flyer that delivered the message of the UUAA, okay? Because since we already had, really what you want is the active parents. And the active parents will motivate the inactive parents. So if they were an active parent, they would be at the State of the Schools meeting this past Thursday, with Miss, I think her name is, Amber Johnson, with Miss Johnson, you heard of her? She would be there with Miss Amber Johnson Thursday. And then that way, we could disseminate the information in between sessions, because they had different rooms for people to go in if they're interested in different things after she gave the great speech. Now, I also went to Cashmere Multi-Service Center, which is about a mile away from Cashmere High School, because the Multi-Service Center would be a place where we could have a meeting with the parents in large masses, because I don't think HISD would be agreeable to us having a meeting about taking over the school, at the school.
Well, it'd be
So,
worth checking out and seeing if, letting them turn us down.
well, I don't even want them to necessarily know that we're even meeting. And you know, if they
Well,
find
once
out,
you
they
start
find
handing
out.
flyers,
You know, if
they're
they
gonna
find out, they find out, but we don't have to act like we're seeking something from them. But that's fine if somebody wanted to call. But the Cashmere Multi-Service Center, they sent me the fee waiver form and the request form, and they said if we're doing something for the community, they would waive the fee for us to use the space. So I told Monroe that I had that information, just let me know when he wants me to send it in so we can have the space. Now, Miss Shirley is back in California right now. She's not going to be back here until Tuesday. So Miss Shirley is the one that started this movement in California. And like I said, she works under John. So John is the national director of, what's it called, Parent Revolution. Miss Shirley is the African American community liaison for Parent Revolution. So those are our two contact people. And I've also been getting some technical support from Gabe and Bahul. But all of those people on the payroll for Parent Revolution. And they are available to help us in any kind of way that they can to get
I'm
the,
in the bylaws
get the
take me
message.
off. I'm finna call all these folks on the political side that was finna work with us, and I will give them your name, and y'all can go to work.
Here, hold on a second, I'll give you a copy of what
No,
we're
you
working
can't
on.
just blindly throw me in something. We haven't had a briefing. We don't know who the contacts are. We don't know what the plan is. The way you think and the way I think are two different things.
Exactly.
Like you always
But the
said.
way the urban thing should be one way.
Like you said, it's taken who? Martin